I keep trying on this story. There's so much, and they keep adding new stuff, and the thought of like going through everything, I have to keep deleting stuff. Anyways, we'll just run through this one today. There's so many story I can't. It's making my brain explode. Snoop Dogg responds to Suge Knight's claim that he, Diddy, and Dr. Dre are in secret society. I think they all are. I think they all are. I do. This story was interesting because I've been trying to sit there and go, it's not Suge, right? It's a different guy. Except here's what happened. Here, let's read this first, and then I'll get into like what was so weird about this. Once they start painting their fingernails and wearing women's clothes, they got you. Okay. Suge and Snoop and Dr. Dre and Sean Diddy Combs were members of a secret society, is his assertion, which Snoop himself seemingly finds comical. On Saturday, Breakbeat Media released the latest episode of Knight's Collect Call from Prison, on which he claimed that the trio was under control of powerful forces beyond themselves. The Death Row record founder, who is currently serving a prison sentence stemming from a manslaughter conviction, spoke of alleged public display of affection shown among that particular group. Okay. I remember when they gave him Puffy an award at the ASCAP Awards. So Andre went up there and they got him an expensive watch and gave it to him in front of everybody. Woo! Okay, and he basically confessed his love to this man. The legendary mogul said. Then Puffy and Snoop became besties. Every time you see one, you see the other one. And next thing you know, they start painting their fingernails. Didn't make sense. Did Snoop paint his fingernails? Cute. Well, they're hanging out with those other people, but they all paint their fingernails over there. Those white boys, too? Yeah. Okay, so Knight continued the game, bought Puffy a Lamborghini. Ah, yeah. Yep. Okay, and when Puffy got more money than game, when you buying this man a Lamborghini, you know your homies don't even got a Lamborghini. But once again, it's that secret society, and for this thing to work and fix it, they got to start all the way over in these major record labels and these big buildings, and they need to get rid of all the guys who was connected to the poison and the snake. And Suge's like mouthing a hot dog. Okay, so upon catching wind of Knight's claim, Snoop Dogg issued a response by simply reposting an all hip hop report of the embattled mogul's allegations, along with the laughing emoji and shrugging emoji. It seemingly expresses humor and bewilderment regarding his former CEO's assertion. See Snoop Dogg's response to Suge. So he does that and he's like laughing. He's like, I don't know. He just says crazy shit. Yeah, but the men have been actually helping each other out. So I would say the same thing. I go, wow. I mean, they certainly don't want women up in here. They do want to spend a lot of time with each other. And they certainly help out other guys that are into other guys. So, I mean, I think a lot of these men just don't want to come out. They're just in the closet because it wasn't okay in society. And they just, this is how they're acting out. I mean, I don't know. Okay, so here's the truth of this. This what made it weird though, because I was like talking about the Dr. Dre's dwarf and all those people. The guy that we were talking about, that holiday guy, totally went on about some guy being like that, the perpetrator in the ring, and I go, that's bizarre. It's not helping the story out any because that's exactly what he was going on about. He's like, that guy be with some men and he be doing all the, oh, he went to town. Oh, he went to town. But it was really scary at the time because the guy's a child predator, right? And there's a lot of stuff that was going on back then. And it was like he's just going on. And I'm like, oh my God, this is really scary. Like, I don't know all the things that happen. I mean, I'm being told and fed through some of the information through this person, but I did see them around these other young girls, and there was some stuff going down. But then they were saying something with these guys, and I was like, well, I don't know if he's doing stuff with those guys. If he is, then he's doing stuff with those celebrity guys. And if I didn't see it, I didn't see it. But that's what they were saying that they were doing, and that's how they were operating on a level where they were getting. I guess they were. I thought they were just doing drugs together with these other people or buying it from them or whatever, but apparently there was some exchanges like where they were doing sexual favor. That's what they were saying. So they were talking just like Suge right here. That's why I was like, well, I don't even know. I just know that these people are more than likely all connected, at least on that on that portion of the story. As far as the cop thing goes, it's connected to P. Diddy. And at that time they were, I guess, all getting along. I see, I don't know all this stuff from it. I just know that they were definitely in the area. The Suge and those other people were definitely in the area, and then down the street. And then I would like to identify who that other person is. I mean, I don't think it's Suge, but it could be Suge. It's just weird that we pulled out Suge and then they're talking just like Suge. And I was like, oh, I don't know, what I mean. I don't know. And he was like spilling it out like Suge. Like Suge's just sitting there telling everything, right? He's like, yeah, you know, this whole thing and that whole thing. And then he doesn't talk straight and he starts making stuff up or going extreme on stuff and this and that. And he's just a socio. I mean, you can't, whatever. But anyway, but who isn't in this story, right? One of the other stories was they were saying that Diddy shot this woman in the face, and I'm like, dude, what the hell? So it was a secondary story, and I pulled it up, and she's like, I've been saying for years it was him that pulled the gun. I'm like, what is going on here? I was like, I don't know if I remember that story or not. I didn't pay a lot of attention to those stories in the media, but once in a while, like one would pop up and I'd be like, what in the hell is this? And I would go through it and then, but outside that, no. So he's a terrible monster. And then he has allegations at his school too. I didn't even know he had a school. Like, there's so much about these people. I'm just like, mm-mm. They're all a problem and they all you're hanging out with cops? Are you guys being a bunch of hypocrites? If the police, except for the ones that I use to cover up my shit. That's the thing about it. That's why I'm like, what in the hell happened in this 90s portion? We need to know because there's stories that are coinciding with these people. And I'm like, I don't know these. I, honest to God, I don't know none of these people. It was just like me as a kid talking to some of these people, whoever that is. And then it was more of an extension of outside this circle to this other group of people. Now, I don't know if they're connected because those people are connected to the Michael Jackson group of people. And I'm like, it would seem likely that they were. And maybe it was just me not understanding the friendships among all the people. And maybe it's just a guy in the group that didn't like the other guy. But it seemed that they didn't like any of them. But there could be a whole other thing going on here. And the extension of that ring could be much bigger than what they caught. But I don't think so. I mean, it sounded like, I don't know. I can't answer it because I didn't even know that this other place existed where they were using a storage unit. That's beyond my scope of anything. And then, but it doesn't tell me like where they make it in the storage unit or did somebody, were they buying it from somebody? I don't know. They just did this short, like they didn't care too much back then. It was like they were busting people for stuff, but they didn't really go. They didn't go deep into that stuff. I was like, I don't understand it. I'm annoyed anybody's like, how'd you know it was a ring? It's like, because it was in the media. I knew they were drug addicts and they were starting to sell stuff. I saw them trying to sell stuff, but I just didn't know what a ring was. I'm a kid. Why are they asking me questions like that? I'm supposed to know what that is. I'm not from a poor area where people are doing things like that to survive. Like, it's not anything like that. We didn't have that type of thing back home. So what we did have back home is people partying. And so to me, it seemed some bullshit like that. I don't know. It's just, I just knew there was a bunch of people. So it was a ring of people. And then now they're all mega famous. Okay, so I don't know how this, you have to explain all this stuff. Why would I be getting demanded cash in the desert when I'm with celebrities at that moment and they go, the celebrity people tell me after the fact. So this is in 1997, right? So this is what I said. There was a comment from the celebrity camp that was alarming because they said that if the celebrity was there and I just stayed with them, that would have never happened. And I'm like, I'm a law enforcement daughter, so why would it be more okay to do misconduct on me, but it would be totally passable and nobody would have done anything if a celebrity guy was here? And that's what they said. And so when they said it, I was like, what? I'm not a normal kid. So I'm not a normal person. So I'm not like the everyday girl that they go pick up on the street. So I'm a daughter of law enforcement, and I'm sitting here thinking, I've never heard my dad say anything. I mean, I would never say this. And I don't know why they would be treated differently from somebody that is related to law enforcement. You would almost think that I would be treated more differently than everybody else. Like maybe they would treat me much nicer or something. No. I was targeted for cash in the middle of the desert. They saw that I was with the celebrities. That was number one, and that was all that was on my jacket, on my top. It was like it's a blazer top. That was my shirt. Because then they later took it off. When they took the photo, they took that off, that I was with the celebrity camp. I literally just left them because they said, they're like, okay, changed his mind. He's going to stay at the hotel overnight at the Aladdin. And then I go, okay, great. I'm just going to leave then because I'm not staying the night with Brian. Fuck that. And so when I took off, then that happened. And then it was just like 2 or 3 months later, the Rampart cops went out there and took like millions of dollars or something. And I'm like, I don't understand it. It was a setup. So people need to understand the story is a setup to target me throughout this whole period right here from the apartment thing that happened in Fullerton. So they stole my car, went into my home, made up some bullshit, and just threw me out. Like, for no reason. It was a hate crime. And I was there for 2 years, and I had a really good job here. And then I transferred to working in downtown, right? Which turned out to be the human trafficking ring, right? But I went to work down there, and then I got into the film industry, and I was working on television right here. It was all in this portion right here. And then when I was working in television, I started getting bullied, and they were being mean to me. And I didn't understand why. I just thought maybe that was just everybody to everybody. So I can't really answer that. I didn't get propositioned for sex or anything, but I got bullied and I got abused. And they were refusing to giving me my vouchers for my SAG card, you know? So they were trying to block me out of getting SAG. And, but I couldn't understand why. I didn't do anything. And I was going to school, for acting, and then I actually took some classes. I took some other weird class with some people in Hollywood one night. I don't even know what the hell that was. I'm like, I just went, like, to some big, some event. Yeah, so, but they kept trying to block me from getting my union. They would sucker me into union jobs and then didn't give me my union thing. And then I was getting yelled at on set a couple of times. And then, and I did that for 6 years. Not one voucher, you guys. I don't know anybody that worked that long and didn't get a voucher. Everybody was getting vouchers, and I was like, how do you do it? Why are they telling me no? Why are they like lying and saying, oh, you're going to get a union voucher today if you do the union job, and turn around and not give it? And they're like, you got to keep asking for them and you got to do this thing and that thing. And so I did. And then they would continually not try to do it. They would purposely not do it. So I told this agent, who's actually on YouTube right now. I told this agent, I go, yeah, they won't do it. He's like, okay, stop doing that job. And so I stopped doing the job. I stopped doing the job after they told me. And then start doing this other stuff. And then I wasn't able to get around to it because then the whole blowout happened with the music thing. Like, the music thing was about to take off. And then there was interest right there. And then their team totally destroyed it. Yeah. And then now I got all these gross male bullies in the music industry that continually bully me all day long, or, whatever their bullshit is. They want to be passive aggressive and say things, just so you guys don't know what they're saying, who they're saying that to. So they can pretend when you call them out, they're going to go, oh, she's nuts. She's making stuff up. We never did any of that. No, that's them. I'm not stupid.